Good morning everyone and welcome back to my channel. It is Monday morning. I am just about to eat. I have an egg, turkey bacon, and a piece of toast. I'm not gonna eat too much because I am gonna go walk very soon to my acupuncture appointment, so I don't wanna be too full. I just came from hot yoga. I am feeling so at peace. I have been focusing my Mondays being the days that I go to acupuncture and do like hot yoga, like every single Monday, and I feel like it's the perfect way to kind of like reset my nervous system and keep me on track, especially from the weekends. And I've been talking on my channel how I have been not like going out so much and not drinking and things like that. Now this weekend I did do things, but I went to the Tate McRae concert, okay? I finally got to see her. If you don't follow me on Instagram, please follow me on Instagram, Alicia Gogan, and you will see the reel, you will see the highlight of concerts in my stories, and you will see how iconic she looked. So I am still on a high from that concert. I am just like so grateful that I even got to go. I mean, I was gonna go anyways, but Liquid IV ended up reaching out to me to send me to the concert. So I ended up getting floor tickets, which honestly I probably wouldn't have gotten if I went on my own, because I just didn't really think of it. I didn't really think about getting that close, but oh my God. She was stunning. She wore these blue Adidas shorts, which is crazy because I was going to wear the exact same blue colored Adidas pants that day, but then I decided to wear my jersey and the skirt, which still looked really cute, and it was like very Tate core, but it was just like more comfortable, and it was really hot, but I literally could not deal with how amazing she looked. The performance was amazing. So anyways, we are doing another week, another few days in my life. I'm sure I'm gonna be focusing heavily for sure on my health and wellness in this video. I'll see what I get up to. I'm just gonna vlog and see. It's definitely gonna be more health and wellness focused. Also, August is coming up. So anyways, I'm gonna eat, and then I'm gonna be going to my acupuncture, which takes about 50 minutes to walk, which I personally love, which is like amazing, like a nice long walk in the morning. And then I'm gonna stop at a coffee shop that's near somewhere in Yorkville and do some computer work. I do wanna pick up a few more supplements. If you guys watched last week's vlog, I was talking about how I'm very much so focusing on gut health right now, nervous system regulation, and you know, just working on my mindset, things like that. I journaled this morning, just really taking care of myself and pouring into myself, because that's just the way of life. Like really and truly, it's just what I should be doing, and what everyone should be doing. And so hopefully this video can just motivate you or inspire you or whatever. So let's get on with the week. Okay, as I'm getting ready, I think I'm going to use a backpack today, which is so unlike me because I love me a good tote. But because I'm walking like 50 minutes, I just like put that on my shoulder, and it just does not feel good. And honestly, my shoulders are so sore kind of from my camera and like taking videos and stuff at the concert and just like all that kind of stuff. Like even this morning when I went to yoga, I just felt very stiff. So I'm gonna do myself a favor and use this backpack. And also this backpack is from Buff Bunny, so it's really cute and sleek. Like why not? So anyways, I'm gonna put on a podcast. I don't know what podcast. I like to sometimes listen to like health podcasts as I'm walking to acupuncture, just because I feel like, I know you guys can't see me and this is like ridiculous. Like I could just lift up the camera, but am I going to? No. Like Dr. Huberman or What's the Juice by Organic Olivia, just because I feel like this is the time to listen to it if I'm gonna be walking very far. Sometimes I like to listen to music. I don't know. Anyways, we'll see. Let's go. I am back from acupuncture. I always feel so good after it because during the session I usually kind of doze off because she puts all of the needles where she needs them to be, and then she'll leave for maybe, I don't really know how long it is. It's probably only like 10 minutes, but I just like doze off, and that's like the best rest ever. So I'm feeling really good. Today when I had some of the acupuncture points, they were a little bit more like sensitive than normal. She did like stimulate other places, but essentially she's doing a lot of stimulation and like trying to move energy for my digestion, which I also talked about in last week's vlog about how I want to support my gut health a little more in general. And also I was diagnosed with ulcerative colitis years ago. So like I always have that in the back of my mind. So I feel like I have to really support my body and my health extra, not like any more than the average person, honestly, because I feel like most people have gut health issues, even if it's not as extreme as IBD. Like usually people have IBS symptoms. So many of us are stressed, things like that, which it is a lot. It is stress. It's induced, obviously. Living in environments, trauma, stressful times in your life, financial, everything, and also like food and moving your body, things like that. If those things are not really healthy in your life, then your body is going to respond. And we live in a generation where there's so many things that stress us out, and we've come from a lot of the times environments where it hasn't been the most healthy. So it's just kind of about learning how to regulate your nervous system as you're an adult and doing the things that you need to do to take care of yourself. And that looks different for everyone. I feel like my biggest thing was definitely like my mental health and the overactive thinking and the stressing and worrying about things in my life, because there were real things to worry about, but obviously it doesn't serve me anymore. But that also resulted into a lot of chronic illness and ailments. So I've spent a lot of my time in my 20s unlearning a lot of things and healing, but also like doing the best that I can to support myself. And that takes a lot of time, like especially like natural healing, it takes a lot of time. So I'm in a phase right now in my life where I want to support my body physically a little bit more, and that's why I'm going to acupuncture. So anyways, feeling good. I didn't end up going to Nature's Emporium yet to get my probiotics because I wanted to stop at the mall to return things, and I just got way too hot. I was wearing my jacket, like my like Spanx jacket that's like a Lululemon type of thing, and I don't know why I thought that I was gonna be okay in that. I was dying, and I wore this like tiny top, so I didn't really feel comfortable just like walking, you know, like this with my stomach out, but whatever. I stopped and got a latte and did some work, and now I'm back and I'm eating this Italian soup, which is random, but I'm trying to eat foods that are a little bit more soothing on my digestive system right now. But honestly, this is the quickest thing for me to eat. I have chicken to make, which I'll probably make later. So yeah, anyways, I'm gonna eat this and then we'll convene when we convene. Hello everyone, we are back. I went tanning for like an hour. That was quite random, but I was getting to a point where I was like crashing and I wanted to take a nap, but like I wasn't tired enough really. And it was starting to get later and I don't want to mess up my sleep. And so I just went outside and listened to a podcast, which I'm happy that I did because that podcast was really good. I forget the name, but I will link it down below in the description. It's from What's the Juice podcast by Organic Olivia. And they were basically just talking about how with anything, hormone issues, chronic health issues, diet, habit issues, anything, you have to really go to the core and the root of the issue if you want to see sustainable change. And what they were really talking about heavily was nervous system regulation and how your brain is really the epicenter of so many things, and how, you know, you could get all the supplements, you could know all the knowledge when it comes to moving your body or know all the right affirmations, but if your brain is not listening and it's not in healing mode, it's not going to signal to different parts of your body to utilize the things that you are using, whether that is supplements, diet, movement, anything really. And it's not to say that eating healthy, supplements, all these things are not important, but again, it's really like, is your brain and your body connected, and is it ready and willing to listen? And I've talked about this so many times on my journey. I've learned this on my journey so much that, you know, if I am mentally stressed, if my nervous system is stressed, which is essentially stress, you know, mentally stressed, if I am in such high fight or flight from trauma, from consistent environmental stressors in my life, I could take the best supplements in the world. I could have the healthiest meals ever. I could even go to the gym all the time, but my body is not going to respond to those things because I'm in a heightened level of nervous system dysregulation. And that is what they're talking about when it comes to root causes of things. So I'll link that down below. And that's definitely something that actually allowed me to heal my eating disorder in the past and a bunch of different like just sabotaging behaviors, because a lot of the things that I was doing, one was to regulate my nervous system. So I needed to learn about my nervous system and how to regulate and how to release emotions and be with my emotions, because I suppressed them in my life because I had a parent who kind of taught me how to do that, and many other things. But also in turn, I was using dieting and health and supplements and all these things to fix a deeper internal issue, which was my nervous system dysregulation, which created some of these chronic illnesses and things like that. So the mental health, nervous system regulation, like I kind of like clump into one. You got to work on your mental health, which really does affect your nervous system to allow you to go into rest and digest. And that is where healing occurs. And that's when you can start adding those supplements, really focusing on, you know, like not stricter diets, but diets that are really beneficial to your specific like health issue. I also talk about this sometimes when it comes to cycle syncing and in some of my cycle syncing vlogs. And they were talking about this too. I guess these two ladies, they had an Instagram account where they were helping people who had like hormonal imbalances, and they're talking about cycle syncing and like other things, like different ways to eat and move your body, and when it comes to like supporting your hormones. And like, yes, there's literature saying and showing the evidence that cycle syncing can like be beneficial for us to regulate our periods and, you know, not push you into menopause early and fertility and all those things. Like there's things that you can do when it comes to eating and moving and productivity and all those things, yes. But again, coming back to that root issue, if you have just been highly dysregulated in your life through different traumas or just stressful environments that you don't even realize are stressing you out, which is most of us in this generation, for you to like go on this cycle syncing journey, let's say, and get all the food and the supplements and like know when your cycle is and all that kind of stuff, sometimes your body's not going to respond to that even because you already have this underlying start of dysregulation. So your brain's not capable of even, you know, utilizing or listening to what you're trying to kind of signal to it. Again, it's not to mean that you can't eat well and move your body. Of course, those things are going to help your brain be able to understand what's going on and like, let's turn on the healing and like, let's get to where we need to go. But I think sometimes we put so much emphasis on the outside things like food, supplements, workouts, things that yes, can support us, but in turn, us stressing about those too much will dysregulate our nervous systems more, and then we're wondering why we're not seeing results at the gym, or why no matter what supplement we take, it's not helping our gut issues or our skin issues, or why they keep coming back, or they work for a little bit and then they kind of don't work anymore. I personally believe a lot of that has to do with placebo. That's what they're talking about in that podcast episode, which I love because that's exactly how I view health and wellness and everything like that. So anyways, I ended up going to the grocery store and I came back, took off my shirt immediately because it's so hot out. And we'll do a little haul because I figured why not. So the first on my list, oh, also somebody had commented on my last video. Cause I went to a Halo Top event, which is a protein ice cream, and they're asking, and they're really sweet about it, but they're asking basically like, oh, like, why would you like be promoting like an ice cream brand that has like maybe like not the healthiest ingredients in it if you're also like healing IBD or like gut health issues, like whatever, which made sense. Like it's a good observation, but I even just said like, maybe she didn't, I don't know how many videos she watched of mine or like read my book. I know not everyone has watched all of my stuff, but I have come from hyper obsession over eating clean and clean ingredients. And I understand, leading back to what I just said about root cause healing, you sometimes have to make decisions for you that is the best for your nervous system and your mental health. And if I'm gonna live life being afraid of every single ingredient, that is gonna stress my body out more than just having that ice cream. And I'm not trying to say that ice cream is the best thing in the world, because if we eat that every day, will we be healthy? No. And I know a lot of communities online, the extreme health and wellness communities that I used to be in as well, would argue that and be like, no, you really still shouldn't have any of that. It's not good for you. And I'm saying I know that. I know the things that I'm putting in my body, but I also understand that not everything needs to be nitpicked and not everything is going to kill you, especially in moderation. And I say that lightly because I understand where in moderation can be taken and people take it too far, in my personal opinion, because I've also done that as well. But healing an eating disorder and knowing everything that comes along with that journey, I don't like to, especially come online, but in my day-to-day, I don't like to have rules or restrictions because I instantly go into a binge when I do that. And it's worked for many, many years for me to not have any sort of like food rules and this, that. But I am very aware that there are foods that fuel me way better than others. And it's not like I go about my life eating whatever I want, whenever I want. I focus on high protein foods. I focus on making sure that I'm cooking my meals at home. I'm really just focusing on meals that I know make me feel really good. And does ice cream make me feel good all the time? Absolutely not. Am I very aware of the ingredients that are put into my food? Yes. And do I usually opt out? Yes, for sure. But there's just some things that I'm not like, I don't like, it's not the biggest deal. So if you ever see me promoting, which is, I'm gonna talk about this, but if you ever see me not even promoting, I wasn't really even promoting it. I did say it was good ice cream, so you can try it if you want. But first of all, I'm not promoting, everyone has a different diet and everyone needs to eat a certain way, okay? So like if you see me eating certain ways, like it might not work for you, that's fine. But if you see me eating things that in your mind you think, oh, well, that's supposed to be a bad food, understand that I know what I'm doing when it comes to like eating. I'm not saying like I'm doing it right. I'm just saying like I'm aware. Anyways, I got this chocolate. Bachi, don't know. Somebody will probably let me know. This chocolate is literally so good. It's like a dark chocolate with like milk chocolate in the center, and it has like hazelnuts. I believe it's hazelnut. Yeah, hazelnuts. Fine chocolate truffle with hazelnuts, and there's like a little hazelnut on the top of it. It is so good. I love them. And so I've been just like putting them in my freezer and just like having one here and there whenever like I have like a sweet treat. They like look like this. And yeah, I really, that's my new like a little obsession. I got these sandwich little flaxseed buns. They're a little bit flat because I kind of want to make sure that I'm having like at least 2 eggs in the morning. But sometimes like bread, like big pieces of bread, it's just too much. But I want my egg and my bacon on a piece of something. I'm very particular with how I eat sometimes. I got some bananas because I like to have a banana in the morning if I'm going to yoga, because I don't have time to eat a full meal, nor am I that hungry. And I don't tend to have coffee before I go to yoga. So I like to try and have something in the morning. I got my famous gingerade kombucha that I love to mix with my orange juice. And sometimes I'll add that a little bit into a smoothie. I got cherries because they are in season. I really wanted to get grapes and freeze them because I've been eating them a lot, but I kind of wanted those. I got some frozen raspberries and blueberries. I love to add these in smoothies, but also just on top of Greek yogurt bowls. They're just always super yummy when I want a treat. Of course, I got my grass-fed steaks for the week. I'm about to make chicken right now actually though, and I got some turkey bacon, just like higher in protein, and I like it in the morning with my eggs. And then I got some teriyaki beef jerky, and I like to have that sometimes with some cheese and malbato. So that was like a small little haul. I'm gonna bake some chicken. I am going to make some rice and steam some broccoli. That's gonna be my dinner. I'm gonna put some teriyaki sauce like over top of it. And that's probably gonna be it. I'm just gonna go to sleep. Tomorrow I have legs. I need to record my podcast because I'm like back in the energy of recording now that I'm off my period and I had like a long weekend. So I think the next 2 days I'm probably gonna do lots of recording. So I'll record anything I get up to. I still haven't gone to get my probiotic, but that's fine. I will get it when I get it, and I will see you when I see you. morning, everyone, and happy Tuesday morning. I just ate the same breakfast that I did yesterday, and I'm just getting ready to record my podcast. It's actually like 2:30 in the day, which is crazy because I feel like I just ate breakfast. Well, I basically did. So today was leg day, and what I like to do when it comes to like my workout splits and stuff, because sometimes I'm weightlifting, sometimes it's just like really long walks, sometimes it's yoga classes. It just depends on like how sore I am, obviously. But especially when it comes to those leg days and like the harder workouts, I kind of like to balance out my mornings and not make it so stressful. I think for many reasons. One, because if I make it a huge deal and I feel like it's really hard, then I'm gonna be more inclined to just not do it, honestly. And second of all, coming back to like nervous system regulation, I just try and live a life where there's just less resistance and less stress and less overwhelm. I have lived my life like that for so long, and so I'm just like not willing to push or stress myself out too much. And I understand that it's important to have discipline, and sometimes you have to do hard things. Obviously, I have done many hard things in my life and I still do, but I just understand habit change, at least for myself, and also like things I have to take in consideration. So I say all that because on my leg days and stuff, although it doesn't really feel daunting because I've changed the relationship that I have towards fitness and working out and stuff, it's just kind of like a thing that I do and it's easy and I do like it, and I have music playlists and it's just like not that deep. But because it does take some more effort, I like to let myself kind of sleep in. And the only reason why I do this is because I know that I wake up early anyways, but I try not to if I don't need to, like set an alarm. I mean, again, I trust that I'm gonna wake up pretty early. Today I actually woke up at 9 though, which I don't normally do. If I were sleeping in, it would probably be like maybe 7 o'clock I would naturally wake up at, versus like 6:30 or like 6:15. I will make sure to set an alarm on the days that I'm doing a workout class, because I feel like I can have a little bit more discipline with that, because it's easier for me to get up and go to a workout class than it is to do like my leg day. So I want to kind of have the proper amount of sleep when it comes to weightlifting. It's actually very important that you do as well. And also I give myself like a little bit of time in the mornings, not too much extra time, but a little bit more time in the morning to eat something, to have my coffee, to do my journaling, which I did the same thing today as I did yesterday, but I just kind of did it a little tiny bit differently and like took a little bit more time because I just want to be fueled and ready to go. So that always sets me up. So maybe if you are struggling with working out and like a workout split and stuff, I would suggest maybe giving yourself a little bit more time in the mornings on certain days when you can. I obviously know that some people, you know, you have like traditional jobs and things like that, but even when I worked like a regular job, I would do things like this to just make it easier for me to be consistent. Because at the end of the day, like if you don't set up your work week or your workouts or your diet or your whatever it is, your social life, the way you want, you're just gonna sabotage. You're just gonna like do like a bunch of avoidant behaviors or feel like crap about yourself if you don't hit these goals and stuff. And there's no point. Like there's no point in like stressing yourself out and setting yourself up for of like failure, obviously. Now, I actually want to read this quote that I posted. Oh, by the way, oh my God, like side note, I was looking at my story views, which I don't usually ever do that because like there's not anyone I'm like looking for or anything that I'm really looking like for in general. But somebody that I know had liked one of my stories. So I don't know why, it just like prompted me to go look at my story views. And I scrolled down a little tiny bit and I saw a blue check mark, and it was Tate McRae. And she viewed the reel that I made with Liquid IV because Liquid IV sent me to her concert and I died. So anyways, that was the highlight of my night. And that story was just about to expire too. So I felt like it was obviously meant to see, like I was meant to see that. Anyways, I posted a quote that says, when you notice your symptoms, try connecting with them using compassion and curiosity. Instead of rushing to fix things, just listen to what your body is telling you. Now, I think that that is quite prevalent to the things that I'm currently going through. I talked about it in my last vlog, how I kind of had some symptoms of my colitis, and I wanted to make sure that I was really supporting myself the best way that I can, and also acupuncture, kind of like moving a lot of things within my body and stuff like that. But obviously I've struggled with a lot of chronic illness in my life and stuff. And even if it's like outside of chronic illness or health issues or like you not seeing results in the gym, things like that, I even think about just any sort of habit that you see that you're either falling into or you're like doing again, or let's say you have depression or anxiety, all of these things, right? When that happens, sometimes, at least this was my journey, like this was literally my journey. As soon as like I felt like any sort of symptoms of anything, I would go into like, I would worry so much, right? Like I would stress out, like especially when I got actually diagnosed with like colitis and like certain things like that, you go into like this fix it mode, right? This like scarcity, like, oh my God, what's wrong with me? I need to fix this. I need to like start a new diet. I need to like find all of these regimens and whatever. But in doing that, you actually stress out yourself more, which doesn't help the healing process. And that quote really just resonated with me because, I mean, it's less resonating with me now because I've kind of learned that lesson, but I just know that when my body is talking to me, and this is just a reminder to you guys, when your body is talking to you, whether it's even like your mental health, like your life, like the universe is showing you signs, but your physical health, don't be so afraid. And I know it's so hard to not be afraid because obviously it's like, the reason why you want to fix things right now is because you're afraid of it getting worse or you just don't have an answer. Like obviously it's like normal and a survival instinct to want to fix things, but in doing the fixing behaviors, sometimes you can get yourself into these like obsessive like cycles where you either perpetuate the thing that doesn't need to be perpetuated the way that it is, like you make it into a bigger thing than it is, or you just stress yourself out in the moment trying to fix the thing where you end up making yourself more sick. And that's kind of what I would do when I was like orthorexic and like clean eating and like trying to figure out what diet was perfect for my IBD to heal, all of these things. And what I have learned and what ended up actually allowing me to heal, and I even wrote this, let me actually just read it out, but I said, anxiety, depression, chronic illness, what I have learned is to slow down with it all instead of rushing to find an answer. I think it's one of the biggest keys to actually healing. It's scary and that's why you rush, but you are safe with yourself even when things are confusing. And you just have to remind yourself that when you're going through something tough, that yes, it is scary, and it's not to say you want to ever ignore any sort of symptoms or anything, but take things slow, listen with curiosity and compassion, and be like, what is my body telling me right now? What does my body need from me right now? It doesn't need for me to be like, oh my God, let's say for like gut health issues, right? If you have like bloating or any sort of like symptoms of something, your body doesn't need you to stress out in the moment and then go online and find all the reasons why you're going to die, all the reasons why you're going to get cancer, all the reasons why you need to start this new diet that's going to cost you $100,000, and all of these supplements that you need to go and get right now or you're not going to live, and you need to rebrand your entire life, and you have to start on Monday all of your workouts, and you have to be super strict, and you have to like get off your phone, and you have to like stop talking to toxic people, and you have to like change your entire life. Like that's where your mind sometimes goes, at least for me. That's where my mind would go a lot anytime that I had any sort of like symptom or like just like scared about things. And even now, like, you know, I did like a little supplement haul last week, and there were still a few supplements that I wanted to get, but in my head, like internally, I was like, it's fine. Like this supplement, like a probiotic that I need, or I want, I should say, I don't even really need it. I can go get it any other day, and it's not going to change my entire life right now if I get it right now, versus if I try and go get it in a few days, like I'm gonna be safe, I'm gonna be fine. And you just have to really be that person for yourself, because I think that that's what gets you through the hardest times. I talked about this in my book, The Ultimate Glow Up Guide. I talk about the journey that I was on when it came to changing myself, and also like healing my relationship with food and what was going on with that, and also chronic illness. And the thing that got me through these times was having that mindset of like, I am safe even with these ailments. I don't know the answers, but I'm not gonna rush the answers. I'm going to slow down. I'm gonna listen to myself. What do I need? Why is my body even responding in this way? Versus just trying to like fix it with this external thing. Again, it's not to say that you don't want to go look for answers and find these external things to help you heal, but a lot of the times our bodies just need us to slow down and listen and breathe for a second, just like relax. And also it wants you to feel safe in your body. And quite frankly, a lot of the times we have lived life not feeling very safe in our bodies. And then when our bodies are speaking to us, what we do is we don't sit with it. We don't come close to the parts of us that are dying for us to listen. Instead, we just like run away from it, and we're like, oh my God, how do I fix this thing? Oh my God, I'm scared of it. I don't want it. I don't want this thing, da 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 da. And what I have learned is to actually go closer and lean into any sort of sickness, ailment, any sort of like outcome even in your life, things like that, versus leaning out. And I actually talked about that in one of my episodes on my podcast, so I will link that episode down below. I forget which one it is, but I think it's like I was talking about like you're not broken, you just need to respond differently, I think. I don't know. Anyways, so if you're ever going through like any sort of like health anxiety or stressing about your health, like I fully get that. I think that that was the type of child that I wasn't really like that when I was like a child, like very, very young, but in my like late teens, early 20s, I was really like hyper stressed about any sort of sickness or ailment, because I was also like in general in my life very stressed. So I was afraid of getting sick. I was afraid of anything because I didn't have a lot of support around me. And I knew like if I get sick right now, or if something is not right, or financially something is like gonna crash or anything like that, like I have no help. So I was like extra making sure that I was safe and trying to protect myself through doing things like trying to heal. And so like obviously you want to honor that part of you that's just trying to keep you safe, and that's exactly what you're doing when you're doing that stuff. But in turn, you have to realize how you doing that actually exacerbates problems. You know, how you doing that creates things that are not actually needed to be, it's not acknowledged, because again, you have to acknowledge the things that are going on in your life. But I do find sometimes like we make things way bigger than they need to be. At least that was for me. And I actually think, like, side note, I did that kind of a lot, more so with like money, but I did do that a little bit. Thank God my mom didn't like play too much into this, because I feel like she just actually didn't have the capacity to be able to do that. But or maybe she just knew like she didn't want to train her child to be like this. But you know, complaining a little too much about things that aren't as big as they really are, to get attention. I didn't really do that too much, but I did, like, if I look back, I definitely like made things way bigger than they needed to be, especially around my mom, because like I wanted my mom to take care of me and like care about me and like see that I was suffering. But in doing that, I actually created more suffering for myself, because she had no capacity to be able to actually like fix my problems. And in turn, the only person that was getting hurt was me, because I was now making these things way bigger than they needed to be. And then like now my identity is like, oh my God, I'm sick all the time. It was like this constant story, this constant narrative. And I think that changed when I had like the last thing happen to me, which was my nerve pain, which I talk about in my book, where I just realized like ain't nobody gonna save me. Not even the doctors are gonna save me. And I've always like taken responsibility over my life, because I've had to. Like, I wouldn't even say I was like that much of like a hypochondriac or anything like that, but I definitely learned that through my hand pain, when like I realized that even the doctors don't really have the answer. And by the way, what I learned through like healing nerve pain and chronic illness and stuff is it's a mind-body connection. It's your nervous system, it's the trauma that you're holding, it's your body keeping the score, it's all of that kind of stuff. And once I did a lot of trauma work, inner child healing, emotionally released, when I allowed myself to cry, when I allowed myself to be also positive and to stop being in this victim mentality of I can't change, this is my life, only then did I start to find answers and things that helped change me, which was nothing that the doctors could even do. The doctors were very surprised that I was able to heal without them, and that was literally just because I realized what was really truly going on. And I think that it's a journey. You have to rule out a lot of things. You have to go to doctors and they have no answers for you. You have to take medication and that shit don't work, or things come back, like, in order for you to kind of learn, it's not even the lesson, but to just learn what's actually going on with you. So I say all that to say, if you are going through any sort of journey, which I feel like we all are in some sense, I don't think like anyone's like perfectly healthy all the time. Maybe you have had a season, or maybe one day you will, maybe this will just be advice for you, that you should just really take it slow, breathe and relax, and understand that your health issues can absolutely change. You can heal. Your body is wanting you to heal. It just needs you to listen. It needs you just to slow down. It needs you to see how the things that you have been doing in your life leading up to this point have not been supportive. And that's kind of the journey you have to go on to see, well, what was it that didn't help me get to my optimum like health status right now? Was I suppressing a lot? Do I have a lot of trauma? Like, was I not having boundaries? Am I not taking care of myself the way that I need to? And why am I not doing that? Like those type of things. That's what your body really wants you to do. It's not your body wants you to go on YouTube and find a new like 30 days of glowing up and changing my life and like, okay, I'm gonna have this like 3-step process of how I'm gonna change that, or like this 2-step supplement routine and this strict diet that's gonna like fix my health issues. It's really like not that, and everyone is different anyway. So anyways, I just wanted to say that because a lot of you guys responded to that as well. And if you're not following, follow me on Instagram, Alicia Gogan, and I show you guys just like what I get up to on a daily. Anyways, I'm gonna record my podcast episode and we will talk when we talk. Vlog, another day, another slay. I didn't really record this morning. I just had my morning routine, took my supplements, or at least some of them, because I feel like I have so many now, and I went to hot yoga, and then I just basically worked, and I just decided to go out for a little walk because I was like crashing, and my mood was, I wasn't crashing, but like I was like not motivated to do anything like after I did a few things for work. But in general, my mood was a little bit off today, still is, but we're fine. So I decided to go get my supplements. So I'm gonna show you what I got, because I got one extra thing that I really wanted, and now I'm looking at all the supplements that I have and I'm like, girl, you need to relax. But really, these are the ones that I wanted to get. And then I actually went to a health and wellness event the other day actually, and so I now have another supplement, but I'll show you. Okay, so the first thing is, this was the probiotic that I've been wanting to get. I love this brand, Genestra. Now with probiotics, I feel like you just need to do your research. This is something that I took a long time ago, and it is a higher potency, I guess, and like higher strand. Well, there's different strands of probiotics that you can have within your probiotic, so you have to kind of see which one is probably best for you. This is specifically for people with IBS and I would say probably IBD. And there's a one that's like 25 billion CFUs, and I'll probably take that after this for 30 days. So there's 30 capsules. I will take them most likely in the morning. Honestly, I really should have been taking this a lot sooner, but whatever, we're here. And then, okay, so this is kind of like an impulse. Like I thought about this. I used to take this as well. This is like an alkaline slash electrolyte replenishing drink. Now I have a lot of electrolytes like Liquid IV and other ones, and I also have like Athletic Greens and things like that, but I do remember really liking this and putting fresh lemon in it and a little bit of honey. And the reason why I was thinking of getting this, like it's really not needed, but I want to have my L-glutamine in the mornings, and drinking this just on its own, it doesn't taste the best. Like it doesn't taste bad. It's like a slight taste, like it makes your water slightly off, and I struggle with that kind of stuff. And so if I don't enjoy the thing, like the taste of it, I just won't have it. And so I want to have this more often. I don't want to just have this mixed in with like a smoothie or whatnot. So I think what I'm going to do is add this with this in the mornings and see how that goes. And I'm going to see if I can like make it warm, because I'm really trying to do my best to eat more like warming foods, which are different than foods that are hot, but then also like warm foods or warm drinks instead of cold drinks or cold foods. And now the other day I went to Youth Theory's event launch in Canada, and they gave us this collagen powder, and they actually made mocktails at the bar with this, and you could not taste it. And so I'm thinking like, do we just do a little mocktail-y in the morning? We'll see. I will definitely keep you guys updated. Collagen is is also really good for your gut health. So I figured like I might as well have this since I have it. And then I got my Boswellia, which is what I talked about in last week's episode, how this is said to be known to help reduce inflammation, especially with people who have Crohn's and colitis, even though it says joint pain relief, which would make sense because joint pain, well, there's many reasons why you'd have joint pain, but a lot of it has to do with inflammation, which is the same as what IBD basically is. So we have a whole lineup going on here, okay? I promise you guys, I'm not getting into my like obsession with like supplements and clean eating again, like definitely not. But it kind of does look like I am, but I'm here for it. Like we love, and also sometimes what I do is I'll take my vitamin D. Honestly, like maybe I should just do like a supplement, like run through one day. Anyways, let me know if you want that. And then, okay, so I've been on TikTok a little bit scrolling, and everyone's talking about not drinking and stuff. And I've talked about it before as well, but there's a lot of people posting like their little mocktail drinks and stuff, and now you can just like make your own, but these specifically have nootropics and like different healthy ingredients that actually will enhance your mood. There's a little bit of caffeine in I believe this one, so I wanted to try them out. So I got 2 of them. This is the Kin Euphorics. Apparently the co-founder is Bella Hadid, which I had no idea that she even like had this as a brand, but this one has all of these ingredients, which GABA is great for your mood. Same with 5-HTP, and it has a little bit of caffeine in it, which I actually like because I feel like if I do want to go out and have like a little pre-drink, this would be great to have, especially if it has caffeine, because sometimes I like to have a little bit of an iced coffee if I'm going out and I'm not drinking. So I want to try this. I will let you guys know. I might have one tomorrow because I'm gonna go to my friend's pool. So we'll keep that updated. I think I'll try that first. And then we also have another one that's pretty popular, the Hayo. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. Blackberry lemon sounds really good. This also has organic lion's mane mushroom, which would make sense why people are saying like they kind of feel a little bit like on cloud 9 when they're drinking this. I don't know about this. I think this as well, because some of those, like the lion's manes, the adaptogens basically. So I'll keep you updated with that. So I'm gonna put these away, and I'm just going to eat some chicken, rice, and broccoli, and then edit for the rest of the day, and then I'll pick up the vlog tomorrow. But one thing, like I was just like getting irritated this morning in yoga, and I just figured I would say this because I don't know, maybe I'm just like calling myself out, which is probably good. But because I was like slightly irritated, everything obviously just like was more annoying than it needed to be because I was in that state. But when I went to yoga, there's this like side bend situation. It's almost like a side lunge if you've ever tried one. And you like stick your foot out, and anyways, you basically have to have your foot flat on the ground. So in order to have your foot flat on the ground, you can't go down super low unless you're flexible enough to do that. And I'm literally like, I have no mobility that way. Like laterally, I have no mobility. And so I was just getting annoyed because obviously like my body couldn't really do it, which is fine because not everyone could do it either. But it just felt so uncomfortable and it was just annoying me. And then also like my stomach, it wasn't hurting, but like I was just like feeling stuff in my stomach, and I was just, everything was annoying me, okay? And the reason why I'm saying this is because in the shower when I got home, I was like, isn't that so funny that you're so mad at your body? You're so mad at your body for not being mobile. You're so mad at your digestive system for like not feeling really good. But the truth is, like, you did this to yourself. And I'm not one to bash myself for not being like perfect and being the healthiest, because there's so many reasons why we're not healthy, and you can't just always do everything and always be the most perfect. But like at the end of the day, the reason why you're not flexible, well, actually I am pretty flexible because of yoga. I've been doing it for so many months, but like the reason why you can't get into that position is because you don't spend time practicing mobility. Like you don't take the time out of your week to do the extra 10-15 minutes of like mobility and stretching for specific movements. So how are you like gonna be mad at your own body? Or like your gut health? Like, okay, well, look at all the things that you've eaten, or maybe like haven't regulated your nervous system, or like supplements, like all of these things. Kind of no wonder that your digestive system would be acting like that, but you're mad. You're mad at it, but it's like you did that. Like you did that. So anyways, just like a PSA, first of all, don't get mad at your body because your body is always just telling you something. Like even emotions, okay? And this is what I talked about in, I'm posting the podcast today, so I'll link it down below about being emotionally mature. When you're feeling emotions or like something coming up, you're sad, you're angry, depressed, or whatever, stop getting mad at yourself for that and instead get curious as to what these emotions are telling you. Like, is a boundary being crossed? Are your needs not getting met in life or in relationships? Even when it comes to your health issues, like don't get mad at yourself because you can't perform. Instead, come inwards and be like, okay, like what is my body trying to tell me right now and how can I support it? And that's kind of like the journey that I'm also on when it comes to like supplements and like gut health and stuff. So anyways, I figured I would just give you guys that little piece of calling myself out. So anyways, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Good morning, everyone, and happy Thursday morning. I journaled this morning. I went out for a walk. Today is definitely like my rest day, which is what I tend to do. I'll do like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then take a rest. And then tomorrow I'll be doing legs, and then I kind of just like go back and forth. Like if I'm too sore to do legs or like upper body, like in terms of weightlifting, then I'll do a class. And if I've done a lot of that consecutively, then I'll just take a break and I'll go for a walk in the mornings, which is always nice. Like sometimes it's just nice to know like the next day when you wake up, it's almost like feels like a day off, even though I'm still moving my body and I still am working and things like that. So I just think it's always important to not put so much on your plate, because I just feel like then you will sabotage. Like I just know that, like if I'm telling myself to be super strict, even Monday to Friday, but like every single day, it just feels so not fun and not enjoyable. But knowing last night that this morning I was going to be able to like not really have to push myself too much, it was a nice feeling. So anyways, I made this smoothie here. I put banana, frozen raspberries, some ice, some grass-fed vanilla whey protein, and then I put my collagen, L-glutamine, and I used orange juice, which sounds like weird because it's like tangy, but also a little bit creamy, but it tastes so good. I feel like orange juice tastes so good with something like a banana. So anyways, I'm going to drink this. I'm actually basically gonna end the vlog here because I know that it's been pretty long. I wanna get this video up tomorrow because tomorrow is Friday and that's when I've been putting up my vlogs. I took my probiotic and my Boswellia. I feel like I still need to get into a routine of like when I'm taking what supplement now that I basically have all the ones that I need. So I'm actually gonna end this vlog here and start a new vlog because moving into this weekend, it's the long weekend. It's actually August 1st today, which is crazy to think. So I want to start a new vlog, new energy. Gonna be doing some fun things, I'm sure, this weekend. And of course, I'll bring you guys along. So let me know if you enjoyed this video. It was definitely very wellness heavy because that's kind of where I'm at in my life. And let me know what you want to see next. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.